This video was also inspired by Root Beer Float's video, so shout out to him. In this video, I ranked every GD building style into a tier list from the worst to the best. There are countless different building styles in the GD community. However, I have found a way to categorize them into 12 generalized styles to rank them on, which you're seeing on screen right now. I'm going to be ranking these on 3 criteria. Number 1, decoration. Number 2, gameplay. And number 3, my personal experiences and opinions with the style. So, without further ado, let's just get right into the ranking. Starting at the bottom of F tier, we have 12th, Modern. Just very simple modern. It's kind of boring. I'm talking about the levels that just put a flat block design together, some moving details and some little effects in the background, and yeah, boom, it's done. On top of that, modern levels usually have either the most bland or boring gameplay. And as a modern creator myself, let me just give you a guide on how to get a featured modern level real quick. Alright, make a simple layout, place down some simple shapes, add some moving effects, make a repeating background, and oh! Congratulations, you just got a featured hardish 6-star! Let's go! I think I might return to more sub-styles of modern later, but simple flat style just base modern sits at 12th place and at a mid to high F tier on the tier list. 11th, 1.0. Levels using this style center themselves around blocks from, well, 1.0. Although I usually don't spot this style too much nowadays, it's still one of the big styles that were popular back in the days. It usually consists of levels that showcase cool effects and gimmicks like LF0 or credits. Or perhaps it uses the style in an effective and artistic way, like a nostalgic travel, every end, and EXO. It shows more simplicity and calls back to the original visuals and mechanics of the base game. But from personal experience, the gameplay in these levels are downright just not that good. The decoration just limits it, tanking it so far all the way down to 11th in low E tier. It does have some aura though, I like it. 10th, 9 circles. Hi 9 circles levels, you all kind of suck to play. Alright, so imagine it's 1.9 and Zobro's just uploaded 9 circles. And it's so revolutionary, fun, challenging gameplay, innovative design, a 9 out of 10 level for 1.9 standards. But then, however, everyone just sort of takes the idea of 9 circles and remolds it sort of into a level of their own, therefore creating the 9 circles trend. But this isn't really what I think is bad about 9 circles levels. That trend was actually quite interesting, to be fair. Now hear me out here. The wave gameplay in a lot of these recent 9 circles levels are honestly just kind of subpar, with unbalanced wave timings and just overall not really fun, at least compared to other levels in the same skill ranges. And with most of the good ones being Extreme Demon, it's just not really accessible for most players. And it also kind of sucks balls to play for the people who do have the skill to play them. There is a small hand of 9 circles levels that are fun to play, like Ring Trick, Cat Planet, Astrophobia, as well as quite a bit of them having really good decoration like Beta Noir and Aerial Gleam. I just personally don't find 9 circles too fun or original, and this is what places 9 circles at 10th and in the low to mid E tier. Now going into D tier, we have 9th, Pixel. This style was introduced at the start of 2.2 and it involves design based around the blocks well from the Pixel tab. Some examples include Shiftleaf Temple, Dash, and the Towerverse. Now this style looks decent to me, but it doesn't really exude any sort of feeling. Often I find levels with this style to lack personality and that certain flavor that makes GD levels unique. The gameplay usually does seem to be pretty alright, but it just seems just a pretty repetitive style. Now honestly saying, a majority of these levels are platformer levels, and as you can see, I don't think I'm fit to review that area of the game. I think that about mid D tier is about a good fit for this style. 8th, Core. Core is where you focus on the main structure design of the blocks in the level and try and add as many details as possible within every single block. And about a month ago, I made a video on how much I hated the core style, but in all honesty, I just didn't do my research on proper core levels. And now that I've researched a bit more into the style and seen levels like the 27 and Narcore, I'm beginning to appreciate the complexity and visual uniqueness of this style. It's not bad at all. But however, I still don't think it's that good visually, and I haven't played any core levels yet where I've actually enjoyed the gameplay. It's still really object heavy and just not my type of level at all. So this warrants about a high D tier and 8th on the list. And going into C tier, 7th, 1.9. But before C tier, I would like to humbly ask you, the viewer, to like the video and maybe possibly subscribe if you're enjoying the video. I would thank you if you did that. Anyway, self-promo done. The visuals of these levels are usually limited by the 1.9 restrictions in the editor, but they usually have really cool themes and unique quirks that make up for it. They usually have this certain nostalgic look to them, which gives you a nice feeling whenever you play one of these. Some examples could be Golden Crest Palace, Calamity, and Freedom 19. A definite drawback of this style is that these levels can't really be advanced much further than its current point, and they're also prone to being very unoptimized since there is a lack of triggers available in the editor, which do unfortunately make them kind of buggy and unenjoyable. This is what places it in 7th place and in the low to mid C tier. 6th, Glow. This is another extremely popular theme. Glow levels use mass amounts of glow and design to visually please your eyes while using quite simple or flowy gameplay. These always seem to be a hit or a miss. Sometimes you get the most fun, enjoyable, and visually exceptional caption levels, and the other 50% of the times you get bug-filled laggy messes. Some examples of glow levels could be Wazaretta, any Vit12 level, and any Cherry Team level. The gameplay is generally quite fun in glow levels, and these levels are quite effective at building atmosphere and energy. I just can't think of any drawbacks except for optimization problems and lack of personality among the majority of glow levels, which places it in 6th place and in the high C tier. Going into B tier, we have 5th, Realism. The realistic style consists of extremely realistic looking blocks and atmospheres. This is what creates some of the most visually pleasing and the most impressive levels of the game, like And Ever, Silent Acropolis, and that one part in Emerald Realm. Now, these levels are impressive and all, but there's just one glaring issue I can point out. Playability. That's it. In the majority of these realistic type levels, the hyper focus on visuals just causes the creator to neglect the gameplay and the optimization of the level, which leaves players frustrated with gameplay stuck at 14 FPS. That being said, it probably ranks really high for visuals, but ranks probably in E or D tier for playability, and that averages out to around 5th place and about a mid to high B tier in the list. Entering A tier, we have 4th, Art. This is a style that focuses on making a level look and feel like a visual art piece, like a Next Capsule, Bussin, and White Space. This style has some of the best, the most popular levels in the game, with visually outstanding decoration and art. This is kind of a subcategory of the modern style, but just way more advanced and fleshed out, so it can actually give a genuinely satisfying experience for the player. Overall, I can say that this style is just really, generally just good. But in my personal opinion, I just believe that the styles above this just have so much more aura, and I don't really enjoy playing art levels that much. So it gets 4th place on the list, and maybe a high A to a low S on the tier list. I'll give it an A. But before we get into the top 3, let's get some honorable mentions. These are for levels I kind of want to talk about, but I don't really have any words for to describe them, but I do have a ranking for them.
Co-Reda style B tier, minigame style C tier, Rocked Up style C tier, animated level B tier, Devin 2003 style A tier, 32.1 generic style D tier, Only Link style B tier.
Okay, now let's get to the podium. At number 3, I've put experimental / experience. This isn't really a style, but just like a category of level that I find interesting. These levels try and change your viewpoint of how you see Geometry Dash. They attempt to give you an experience that breaks the conventions of traditional level design, using conceptually different ideas to all other GD levels. Certain levels I could generalize into this category are Save As, Eon, and What? By Sputniks. A common factor all of these levels have are that they're really interesting and honestly take the GD editor to the next level. The only cons I could really think of were to be decoration and playability, as the decoration may not really be the greatest and the gameplay may not be amazing, but it's still great nonetheless. This places it at 3rd and in high A to low S tier, just above art. In 2nd, I have effect. Effect levels like Cold Sweat, Comatose, and Broken Signal display large uses of effects. They use these effects to convey different themes and atmospheres along a whole level, achieving compelling storytelling and raw impressive visuals, which I love. Because the majority of the decoration is just based solely off of the effects, it just mesmerizes the players on how different elements of the level are fused together. I've never really had any bad experiences with effect levels, and considering that a lot of my favorite levels of all time are all effect levels, yeah, you just can't really go too bad with a good effect level, to be honest. This places effect at 2nd and in low mid S tier, which leaves us with 1st, Textile. This style is usually characterized by complex, futuristic blocks that have aspects of machinery and neon. Examples I could give for this are Blade of Justice, Get Happier, and Ultraviolence. These are also all levels I absolutely love playing. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but the design of tech levels is just immaculate. The gameplay always goes crazy, the atmosphere is amazing. This style honestly just exudes aura. It's great with song representation, it's great with boss fights, it's great with everything. I just love it. The world needs more tech levels. Please. No downsides. I'm just gonna place it at 1st and mid to high S tier on the tier list. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys in the next one. I also want to give a big thank you to the GD Styles Twitter account for having a public spreadsheet with all the different major styles. I use that so much for researching all of these different styles, and yeah, so big shout out to them. Here's another video I made that you might like. You should totally click on it. That's a pretty